That's a pretty accurate summary of what's going on. Also, that's gonna be a fun cold open.
No, that should not be the cold open. Explicitly should not be the cold open.
The 763rd Bitter Litany, Chapter the 5th, Bloodsport, in which our personages of interest are brought into conflict. As I am not at present in the employ of the High House Imperialis, I will spare my pen a reiteration of the florid prose one must employ to describe the mustering grounds within their section of the Citadel. Should you wish to read such florid prose, I might recommend my descriptions in the 329th and the 501st litanies, as they are my favorites and they set the mood nicely for a tournament day. As is customary, much of the Undying Empire's greatest gentry were in attendance to discuss various ventures and grievances and, each of them hoped, to best gloat their favourite's victory over rivals. Of particular interest, the Grand Duke Maximus Rex opened his personal box to the Administratic's 15th class, Archduke Nigel Locuic of the Administratum, and across from them, in the box of the Master of Ceremonies, was the Marquis Bahamut Imperialis, the Archduchess-in-Waiting Renatia Zanakostovich, and, as may confirm previous theories, Dr. Gawain Kirinthal. The competition proceeded apace, with the statistics doubtlessly recorded with humdrum efficiency by some Administratic 6th class in charge of sporting documentation, as dictated to their 2nd class secretary. That was, of course, until Margrave Regis Dragonsbane, heroically astride his Drake Impetus, faced the chimeric horror cooked up by Dr. Kirinthal, known as the Superiority, and lost.
Renatia, how do you respond to all this?
The whole situation itself was pretty horrifying but uninspiring. Of all the things that could have happened, this is what we got with this, was a slow death that didn't happen and the survival of what could have been a nice bloody death of one of the higher nobles. Despite everything that's here, I'm disappointed in what I witnessed. It was a singular experience, and one that I never wish to be repeated.
I can almost picture you pull out a file and start filing your nails and show how bored you are with this whole thing.
The popcorn did not come out for this one. Not at all.
Bahamut, Gawain, how do you two respond to this outcome? You are all seated in the same box, by the way. It is dead quiet in there right now.
I wasn't watching.
A nice snide side comment of, I'm sure you're glad your brother survived. Despite it all.
Of course, he's always been quite the fighter. An excellent showing, Dr. Kirinthal, from your creation.
I look up from a notebook where I'm taking notes on something completely unrelated. Liv.
It was, as a matter of fact.
Unexpected.
Considering your chimera just bested, how many Megmalu mercenaries? You should not underestimate yourself.
No, for this one to win, I mean.
Not one that you had particular faith in?
Not at the moment, no.
Perhaps you may change your estimation.
Given its condition, I hardly think that further faith in the future is warranted, but perhaps another go at the design.
No matter what, it'll be dead by the end of the day.
Very true.
I just figured I'd let it have some fun before I went.
Of course.
So your B-Rex isn't supposed to live that long?
No.
B-Rex. Don't come at us in the comments about wasps versus bees, we know.
Drive engagement. Get in the comments. Tell us how stupid we are.
Bahamut doesn't really have anything else that they can do right now, aside from sit in silence and wait for the next event. I think they come up and they announce the next contest, turn towards Renatia, and say, by your leave, Duchess in waiting, I shall only be a moment. And then leaves the box to go find Regis.
I'm gonna vibe check that.
That's totally fair. I was gonna ask, this is above board. I know I have something that I wanted to talk to Xana Costa about. What the fuck was it? It's been so long.
Experimenting to see if you can replicate some or improve some of the abilities or existence of the brazen.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, Lorelai came up to you specifically.
Yeah, I remember you said I could get something out of Xana Kostovich. I'm trying to remember what.
I have the brazen.
Can find a way to build on and expand the power of the brazen, you will have some amount of favor with the House Anakostovich, which will boost your station to give you leverage to maneuver, because I don't know exactly what your third thing is that you really want, but I have offered I'll owe you a favor.
It's like a blank check. Like, if you can make artificial brazen, I'll help you with whatever that thing you won't tell me you want is.
Having the Archduke of Xana Kostovich in your back pocket, and also one of the sneakiest fucking Inquisitors owing you a favor, is pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have the one stipulation of I'm not going to do anything that would go against any loyalties that are people that I'm actually loyal to. So you tell me to go after Xana Kostovich, I'm going to say no to that.
I'd be flattered, though.
Renatia, did you mention that you wanted to vibe check Bahamut leaving?
Yes, I would be interested in reading his face to...
Read their face?
Yeah.
Is roll, and then on 10 plus, you get to ask question.
Well, I only got a 6, so I missed.
Oh, cool. So, Bahamut, you catch Renatia trying to get a glimpse of you as you're walking away. As an expert social maneuverer, you are very familiar with this, and you also notice that Renatia left something slip on her face at that time.
As my face is an open book.
What do you really think of me?
Oh.
Do you check?
Yes, no. Renatia thinks Bahamut is show-offy, a bit of a people pleaser who really puts on a face, but helps keep the noble aristocracy from being dull, boring, and nothing but conniving people. You are a potential enemy, but also a potential joyful conversation battle of wits. If it comes to it, I would gladly stab you in the back, but I also enjoy talking to your face.
You head down into the pit to go find Regis, who is being attended to. He's been rapidly stripped of his armor, and many of the healers are surrounding him with poultices and tinctures. You also notice something very specific. He is being fanned heavily by several servants to cool him off. One of the first things that you notice is that his eyes are blood red, and he is heaving with a kind of angry sensation. It's more than distress. It almost looks like when you see a starving vampire, one that hasn't fed.
Bahamut, in a gesture that does not actually convey any grandiosity, shoulders the cape back over one shoulder to reveal an arm, just flips it, not for any sort of performance or any sort of grandeur, pops open the buttons on one sleeve and offers their arm to Regis.
He takes it and starts to stand up and steady himself, and he looks at you in the eye, and oh man, pupils are fully dilated. It looks like the blood vessels in his eyes have popped, and he is weeping blood red tears. His fangs are out, and his fingers look gnarled, and even the nails have sharpened. He looks like a vampire that's going feral with hunger. And he looks you in the eyes and he says, "I'm in the next bout as well, Bahamut. And it's a brazen, and I'm ready."
You would feed on the brazen blood.
Ah, yes.
And not mine. Okay. And impetus?
Dead and gone.
Just because it might affect the scene, I want to do this now while you're mentioning impetus. I think in the box, Gawain is calling over like one of his assistants that if I have to be here to suffer, so do you. Calls him over and asks them to bring a message to Regis. Let him know that we can replace his Drake if so requested.
Now, I have a question. I have a question for you, Gawain, really quick, and then we'll get back to Regis and Bahamut. How do you mean that? Is that a brag or is that a bargain? Are you being nice or are you rubbing his face in it?
Well, whatever my answer is, I feel like it's going to sound like rubbing his face in it, but that is not the intention. This is like, I breed things, give me money, have thing I breed.
All right, so what we'll do is when we come to that point, it'll be a strike a bargain move instead of a put someone in their place move.
Yes, I feel like he will perceive it as a put someone in their place move, but
No, he will be extremely nonplussed.
Yeah.
Back to Bahamut and Regis.
I was attempting to let Regis feed on me in order to be clear-headed for the next bout. Are you establishing the canon that, like, him being hungry is him being in a better headspace for the next fight?
What I'm establishing actually is that something is wrong.
Okay.
This is not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Even when a vampire gets their butt whooped, it's not like they go into a feeding frenzy. This is strange. And you know he ate. You had lunch with him before the fight. He should be good. Something is wrong.
Can I learn from the past to see if I know of anything that does this?
Let me grab the move here. I dig it. Yeah, go for it.
That only comes to a 6, so...
So when you learn from the past, name a topic and roll. So the topic that you're doing is like, what could possibly be causing this? On any hit, history will tell you all that is commonly known and one interesting but unsubstantiated rumor, folktale, belief, or theory concerning the topic. On a miss, the lesson is a bitter one. History will give you either conflicting scraps of knowledge or one terrible truth. The terrible truth is this. You have no way of knowing what is going on, but you do know that Regis is in the final stages of vampire starvation, and not only should he feed on this brazen, he actually needs it. He needs to kill this brazen and drain him dry in front of everyone.
That doesn't exactly leave me with a lot to do, does it? You'll be coming up against one of the Archduchess in waiting. You'll be coming up against one of Renatia's personal retinue. She is a powerful fighter and uses a weapon that is made to keep you at distance. Do not knock the weapon away, or else she will simply bring it back to herself. Get inside. You need to get in as close as possible and keep her pinned. Do you understand?
He nods. Despite being very much not of his right mind, Regis is a very good warrior and understands that, if nothing else. Is there a move in there that you made? Either from your roll or...
We'll have to, like, reread the text on the Pearl stuff, but I also don't think I have any intimacy tokens I can spend at the moment, but...
I'm sure that you have earned one, but didn't realize it. Like, you've been doing some stuff. And you know I allow a pretty wide interpretation of moves.
Sure. I don't know if any of these are actually, like, directly helpful to the moment here, but Bahamut, like, gets close and grabs Regis's forearm and says, Regis, look at me. You have to be careful. I understand that you're hungry, and you need to feed. I need you to feed. But I also need you to come back. Do not let the fury consume you so completely that you're not able to win this fight. We can find you something else to eat as long as you survive. But I need you back.
Oh, I'll come back. I'll come back satiated.
Good. You better. Promise me?
There is no other way.
There never has been. Imperialis Uberalis.
And then we segue back to the announcement of Regis getting back up there. Regis is only wearing leg armor, does not have a shirt, pauldrons, vambraces, chest piece, anything. Like, he is fully topless with a half spear in one hand and his saber in the other, and he looks feral on that field right now.
Hair flowing back behind him.
Yeah.
I feel like this is when Lorelai's kind of watching wherever she is, trying to gauge how are people reacting to this, because this feels weird. And does someone know about something that's going on here?
Oh, we're gonna get to you, Lorelai.
Oh, you're gonna find out who in the audience is thirsty.
It's everybody when Regis got his top off. Hey,
For blood, right?
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Why do you
for
think
blood.
Deidre's on sabbatical?
Would you like to make the announcement, Bahamut?
Returning once more to the field of battle, the Lance Constable Margrave, Regis Dragonsbane Imperialis, Duke of Noxeternium, the Warden of the Night Wall, Count of the Three Brides, Earl of the Embassy Square and Midas Court, Proxy Tertio, to the Grand Duke, Maximus Rex of House Imperialis. And, facing him in his second bout of the day, a member of the personal retinue of the Archduchess-in-Waiting, Renatia Zanakostovich, Glaive Chief Denhill of the Brazen.
So Regis gets a giant cheer, and then everyone starts to murmur when it sort of dawns on them that he's not just like going armorless for show, but like something might be wrong. And then Glaive Chief Denhill comes up, does a brazen salute with like a shield tap and all that, just to like a smattering of applause. Everyone is feeling a little weird about what is going on in this arena right now.
Weird energy.
Anyone who's looking at Gawain is suddenly deeply interested the second brazen is said.
That makes sense.
Lorelai, you have been observing the games from the shadows, from a distance, trying to sniff down a couple of important leads while there are a great and many people present. You had sent me a message that you had a specific move that you wanted to do to gather some information on a specific topic. Go ahead and choose which move you want to throw, and let's do it.
I do have a follow-up question. Is Canastia in attendance?
Canastia is not present.
Okay, that narrows it down. Yeah, I would like to skulk in the shadows or lurk within the walls.
All right, what does this move do? This is a spider move, right?
Yes, this is the spider move. Spend a secret token and tell a history who you observe. Lorelai is focusing on sort of like the people you would go to in House Magmallow to set up the kind of deal that would have led to the attack on the Brazen. As well as if there's any Magmallow who might know more about like Primsol, like where's their upper management of the House Magmallow is mingling with other people.
It is very easy for you to get access to places, move throughout the shadows. You are immensely capable of being where you need to be. Go ahead and roll Skulk in the Shadows, and let's see what you get.
Just straight roll, I got an 11.
Oh, Jesus.
You broke
Okay.
the 6th streak.
And with adding mist, that'll make it a 13.
On a 10 plus, you get to ask 2 questions from the list. The list is, what are they planning? Who are they meeting with? What is their state of mind? What scandal or secret do I discover? Who are their liabilities? How vulnerable are they to me?
What are they planning? Either the people from House Magmallow or the two. Like, what plans are being made?
Right now, the plans are being made to essentially target Kieranthal with everything that they have. They want Kieranthal's influence, specifically in the areas around Primsol and Dune's territory, to wane. They are not happy with Kieranthal. They are not impressed. They do not like the Chimera. They do not like how Kieranthal operates. They are upset. they're planning on going after Kirinthal. And it looks like the crux of the plan is to do whatever they can out in the field to upset any chimeric operations that are going on sort of in the eastern Kirinthal territories.
Okay. Like tucking that piece of information away.
You get one more.
What scandal or secret do I overhear? I want dirt. I want dirt on someone that I can use against them.
Yeah. You hear them mention Xana Kostovich and the company attack as you're about ready to exfiltrate. And so you stick around just a little bit longer. And the thing that jumps out is actually worse than if they had been hired to do it. They didn't do it. No one from the Empire did it. It came from outside the Empire.
Oh. Oh boy.
So just talking about the politics of Empire, it is one thing if an Imperial house betrays another Imperial house and causes a black eye. That shit happens all the time. Dunes is right about that. It is super bad that this was not done by a house, but rather was just done by non-Imperials.
Yeah, Lorelai makes a note. Her mental note checklist is give Gawain a heads up about Magmalo targeting Kirinthal operations. Or if there's someone else in the house that I would need to drop that information to, or someone I need to drop it to drop it off to them. However, I best get that information to them. And then go talk to someone from the Order Principium about we need to increase security in this area. And we need to be clever about it, because what this inter-house politics? What if there's something else going on? We need to show our strength.
As you are going through your mental checklist, you feel a tug at your trench coat, your Inquisitor's coat.
I just do the very smooth sort of heel turn to look back, just icy blue eyes staring down whoever's tugging on my cloak. I really hope it's not Riff.
You turn around and see no one, and then you look down and, oi, have you not seen Deidre yet?
This is a very dangerous place for him to be.
I know it's a dangerous place for me, miss.
I know, it's baffling, but after this event, I will be going to see her, I promise.
Are you sure she's safe?
Safe from others or safe for me to approach?
Well, I don't know. I just remember you sent me on a whole lot of errands to attend to her and make sure that everything was set up, and then I'm just wondering if you think there's danger afoot or something. Also, I sound like I'm from Tasmania this time around instead of a little Cockney kid.
I don't think she's currently in danger now, but perhaps this is not the best place to speak of such things.
Well, all right, I'll be on my way then. There we go. I found the accent. I'm in it now. Well, off I go, and then Riff disappears into the crowd.
So I have it in my head. Lorelai doesn't know where this kid came from. He just kind of imprinted onto her like a duck.
Like a gosling!
Yeah, this kid just shows up and she's just like, "Hi, you're a human child. What are you doing here?" And they've just been like best friends.
Anatel, on your way to the king, you were stricken by a vision. The very clear image of a safe house and the directions to get there, and someone who you need to extract information from.
Well, doesn't get more cut and dry than that. Time to head out.
This is about as close as you can get to the Sangark, like walking up to you and handing you an address and be like, "Hey, deliver the burritos here."
I mean, listen, they're too important to use speech at me.
So, Lorelai, where is Deidre's safe house?
Oh, crap. I had it in my head that she's not in the city.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
She's like a distance away, kind of in a bit of a nowhere space where the Ordo Principium does have a strong enough foothold to keep her safe, but where Lorelei also has enough sway with the local Ordo members to.
So, how many days ride would you say?
Probably about a 2 or 3 day ride, depending on what route you take.
And what kind of safe house is it? Describe it to me. Tell me about it.
I think it just looks like an ordinary barracks. It
Okay.
used to be a barracks, so it has the normal security of that with some additional security per order of the Archduke, because we'll have to make sure his darling girl stays safe while this whole situation gets dealt with, and the kid gets handed off to Lorelei, so Deidre can go back to being the perfect little darling she is. So it looks unremarkable, but it has fortifications and protections that are maybe not that easy to spot if you don't know where to look.
And then finally, Lorelei, how many days does it take for you to settle up your? Actually, this might be better settled with a roll. But are you planning on settling up your affairs before heading, or are you leaving straight after the games?
She'll check in, spread some information, but she is planning on leaving pretty soon after the games, because if things are about to happen with things that are going on, and if Deidre's requesting her presence, she's like, I do need to like put in a show, and if I just happen to not get there in time, then oh well. How tragic.
Okay. So I think by that estimation, and we'll do a quick roll when we transition back to you. But Anatel, you will likely arrive several hours before Lorelei at a minimum. It's a 2-3 day ride out to the sticks to get to a barracks. The barracks is kind of anachronistic because it's a relatively small town, and then it's got this really, really solidly set up garrison. This is still very much within Imperial territory. We're not out into the places the Empire captured and is working on subjugating. This is Empire. What do you do?
I think I just walk right up to the building.
The guards, of course, cross their glaives in front of you. These are not brazen guards. You are not in Zanakostovich territory. It actually doesn't matter which archduchy you're in right now. The barracks is run by the Ordo Principium, and they cross glaives in front of you, barring your entrance.
Are these mortals or are these undead?
These are undead.
Yeah, I think Anatel just wants to essentially exude authority, not just with like how he's approaching, but like magically be like, I could force you to let me in, but we know that's not what's best for all of us.
Roll, put someone in their place.
7.
A
Not
7.
actually that good at iron, but I got a 7 on the die.
Put someone in their place. On a 7, choose one from the list. They must drop this line of conversation. They must return at once to their rightful duties. They must apologize for the offense they offered. They must nurse their resentment or injuries in private. Word of this will spread, and all people know of their ill.
Word of this will spread. So I like the idea that if they don't immediately give ground, Anatel will just address them and say, these are indeed such dark times where the Ordo Principium and the Church of the most glorious Emperor can't trust each other, that I sent on missions of peace and well-being for our most glorious realm, and being stopped from bringing aid to those in need. I'm sorry to see the Ordo in such a state, and please, I will be sure, on behalf of the Sangark, to send any resources and assistance that you clearly need in order to feel more secure. Need you any more proof of my credentials?
One of the guards speaks up and says, we apologize, O great voice of the Sangar. We are not befit to address you. in any way, other than to say this. We are under direct orders from the Archduke of the Ordo Principe to allow no entry at this time.
I will lean closer and say, this town is not that large, but it would not be hard to whip them into indignation. What would be more troublesome for the Ordo? One individual entering this place and leaving a couple hours hence, or your presence here being known by everyone who matters, and the entire town wanting you to stop occupying their quaint little hamlet.
This is deliver a command. State your instruction, let me through, and make it clear what you'll do if they refuse. Get the town to riot and let everyone know that the Ordo is up to some bullshit in this town. On any hit, they choose how to respond in the moment, acknowledge your authority, try to negotiate or outright refuse. On a 10+, they must honestly tell you, player to player or player to NPC, what they intend going forward, to obey sincerely, to obey grudgingly, to defy you secretly, to defy you blatantly, to appeal to your superiors. On a miss, expect trouble. So go ahead and roll it, deliver your command.
Oh no, that's a 3 on the die.
No.
1, 2. Doesn't matter what stat we roll.
Oh no!
They were not intimidated.
You got this, babe.
No, we don't.
The one that wasn't speaking wavers. The one that was speaking clatters his glaive against his partner to reassure him. And then, once again, without either of them actually looking at you in the face as a sign of respect, they say, "We apologize, O voice of the Sangard. We are unfit to address you except in this manner, to tell you that we are under orders by the Archduke of the Ordo Principium to allow no entry at this time." And the one that's been speaking says it slightly different. He puts a little bit of English on it. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of a spin, letting you know that short of you executing these two people on the spot, which would also be bad politically, you're not getting in. It's just not happening.
This is interesting because I do have direct orders from the Sangard to go in here.
Do you have proof of those orders?
Need I anything but my word?
And do the Sangard's order supersede the orders of an Archduke?
Right.
Who are they more afraid of at this moment?
It's feudalism.
No, I'm just trying to think what I'm gonna do about it. I think honestly, what Anatole would do is simply say, well, your orders from the Archduke certainly stand. However, I am here under direct command of the Sangard themselves, and I'm just going to walk in. And if they try to strike me, I want to basically try to use like literal magical vampiric influence to like stop them and not attack them, but essentially say, I understand, you're technically not allowed to let me in, but I'm not allowed to not go in.
Right. So you're basically going to use vampire magic to compel these undead. You take a step forward and they push their glaives forward. Like, they don't do it violently, they do it as in like, please don't do this. Do not do this. We will muscle you out of here.
My thing is basically they have to have had tried to stop me.
Uh-huh.
But my intention is if I just make it so that they are not able to do so, but they tried, we're all following our orders.
I mean, you are extremely powerful. It is not hard for you to just magically compel them to lift their glaives and let you in. That you're engaging with them at all is a courtesy.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have pushback, they're going to get to try. But then, like, it's that thing of like I've got my hand pinning them away from me, and their arms are just exactly an arm's length away, so that they can wave their arms around to feel like they're trying, even though they couldn't possibly hit me, just to show them what the dynamic is here.
And then also, they are allowed to claim that they tried to stop you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you walk in, and you find the barracks locked up tight with very few guards or anyone present. It's looking like this thing has been sealed up, and you can already detect that there are significant amounts of magical wards throughout this entire complex once you step inside. This might take a while. I'm actually going to take this opportunity while you sort of think about your next move, and I want to transition back to Lorelei, if that's all right. Lorelei, back in the city 3 days ago. The games are going on. What do you do during the rest of the games before you leave?
Pass on information to Renatia first, and then Gawain, just in moments when it's like maybe they've stepped out for a moment, or when we can have a bit of a private conversation, I pass the information along. Otherwise, I'm just rubbing elbows, talking, picking up tidbits here and there, and sure some of the people who are part of my web are just around helping serve food and drinks, keep the party going, start to give some of them a heads up, like, hey, if anything comes up, pass the information to this person.
This sounds like a 10 to your network of informants. Is that accurate? Or do you want to do survey your kingdom?
Survey my kingdom. She's just basically getting all of her ducks in a row.
Okay.
For when she leaves.
Roll it, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, we got misses tonight. We got so many misses.
Wait, hang on. That'll be a 7.
That'll be a 7? Okay. You get to ask 2 questions. The questions are, who here is struggling? Who else holds power here? Who here could help me? What needs my attention? What trouble is brewing? How have things changed since I was last here? What here is not as it seems? Where do my attachments home?
What here is not as it seems. I mean, beyond the usual side that people have going on in these things.
Right. The normal political background radiation of the imperial capital is a constant feeling of someone is trying to set someone else up. And usually a lot of it's everyone is trying to set everyone else up. Something about it feels different right now. There is a wrongness to it. You have the sense that the wrong people are talking to each other. You have the sense that old rivals seem to not be targeting each other, but seem to be acting outside of sort of their normal scope. There is something moving in the political currents around the imperial capital, and it's hard to put a finger on it, but you feel like it concerns the High House.
If I may, Lorelei is smart enough, pretty much any of the characters, if they wanted to, could figure this out. I think Anatel has been the rhetoric of the church that he has control over. Basically, he's trying to make it feel like the walls are closing in terms of like make people want to make big moves. Basically be like, we're like we need to like secure, like I'm not to like the people in power. I'm not preaching like everything's great, everything's in power. Yeah. I'm just trying to like make people feel the squeeze as part of that.
Yeah.
And it's not that the High House is getting squoze. The High House appear to be the ones, this is kind of going on underneath, appear to be the ones doing the squeezing. You know that the House Dunes is being targeted intentionally. And it's pretty obvious who's doing the targeting, especially with some of the political moves that have been going on in the last couple of centuries. The thought pops in your head, and this is the full answer to your what here is not as it seems. The thought pops in your head, if Dunes falls, who's next? And then if that house falls, who's next? And if that house falls, who's next?
There's another spider that works in the city, and they're trying to set up the dominoes.
Oh, there are so many spiders at work in the city.
Oh, for sure. being effective about it that isn't me, and I'm not super thrilled with that, but this is time to double check that my contingencies have the correct number of contingencies for their other contingencies.
You also get another question.
Who here could help me?
Oh.
Especially in light of whatever domino effect is going on.
Bahamut. You
Okay.
feel like, regardless of what is going on with the High House, somehow, like if you were to imagine the arc of these activities being a river, Bahamut is somehow planted on a rock on the lee side of the current, and they are keeping them out of it.
Good to know.
Do you exit the games?
So before I leave, because I do think I leave the games a little early, I will take a moment to have like a brief conversation and maybe find the opportunity to introduce myself to Bahamut. Because we've probably like traveled in similar-ish social circles, but I don't know if we've ever formally been introduced.
I mean, you would need to go up to the box, which is something that you are like you can get up to the box whenever you want, and we can loop Bahamut in whenever you like. And also Renatia is up there. And Gawain.
Just in a quiet moment. Yeah, like all three of my peeps are up there. Although Gawain
I
is
am not
probably
your
bored.
peep. I am just your invitation into social gatherings.
We are acquainted.
You are a conditional guest at my cafeteria table, and I can revoke it at any time.
And on Wednesdays we wear black.
You are cool by association.
Literally, though, we made that agreement.
We did. We did, so I think like at some point maybe have something to bring to Gawain. Like I have a reasonable reason to be there, and I'm not super duper sneaky about when I immediately come in, but I don't know if anyone's sure exactly how I got to the door.
This takes place after Bahamut returns from meeting with Regis, but before the bout begins. So this takes place basically immediately after that.
You don't bring Gawain part of the Drake, do you?
That would be so fucked up.
I don't bring Gawain part of the Drake. I bring something that Gawain's boss wouldn't let them bring with them. Just like something that you like to tinker with. So I just come and bring their little science kit.
The object
Fidget cube.
is pretty immaterial. I'm interested to see the interactions between the four people in the booth, particularly Lorelei and Bahamut, finally. Especially given Lorelei's information that she's got.
Yeah. So there's a knock on the door.
A servant answers, because it's a private box, and says, "Do you have clearance, Inquisitor?" And everyone in the box hears an Inquisitor is at the door.
Can I see anything from from my vantage point that I might be able to recognize that it's Lorelei?
No, but you can intuit pretty clearly. Like, you don't think anyone is currently under suspicion for treason, so, like, that's the only Inquisitor that would have business coming up to your box.
I just have some brief business to attend to with one of the lords in this box.
Well, I'm afraid, Inquisitor, that this is a private box, and only with an invitation from one of the attendants.
Lorelei, is that you?
It is. I didn't know you were in here, Renatia.
Let them pass.
Pardon your eminence,
No.
and then the servant bids you enter.
Thank you, and well done.
Of course, House Imperialis is always honored to welcome a member of the Inquisition. I don't believe we've met. Inquisitor Aspetus, is that correct?
I prefer Lorelei.
Of course, Inquisitor.
Also, Dr. Kieranthal, I believe you left this, and I hand you your thing.
Oh, Lorelei, good to see you today.
Pleasure to
Handy
see you as well.
MacGuffin, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's your evil scientist fidget cube. And then I make sure to properly greet. Archduchess Renatia. Pleasure as always.
Bahamut, in seeing that the Inquisitor is on a first-name basis with these two people who are, in this moment, rivals pitted against each other, you have the familiar sensation, as all socialites do, of finding out about the existence of a secret that you have not been in on.
Mm-hmm. That's frustrating.
Oh, the view is truly magnificent from here.
Of course, only the best for House Imperialis.
Marquis Bahamut. I'm sorry to interject. I feel I have neglected my duties of introducing you to my acquaintance here, and I fear you may have a bit of an awkward situation of it. Not that you're not capable of inquiring about anyone's introductions.
I do enjoy leaving inquiry to the professionals. So, to what do we owe the pleasure of this visit on this fine day?
I had a package that I needed to deliver to Dr. Kieranthal here, and I will admit I was very eager and curious to get a taste of what it's like to have such a grand view of this tournament. And it's not often one finds such an easy excuse to be in the presence of such fine nobility as yourselves.
I would certainly rather entertain you under these circumstances than some other that you are capable of providing. Do you intend to stay for the next bout? My brother is again joining the ring against one of Renatia's retinue. Sorry, one of the Archduchess in Waiting's retinue.
Now, my question here is, Lorelei, do you intend to try to engage in this line of information that you've gotten, or were you literally just up here to put a name to the face?
I think Lorelei will stay for the next bout, and it takes some time just because she does have an opportunity to get to talk, and it's a unique view, get to spend a little time be seen with Renatia. Then she will politely take her leave and then go check on her sister. Because she's got a long ride.
Before the next bout begins, you certainly do get seen with 3 very powerful and influential people in an Archduke's box. That happens. Oh, yes. Oh, it does. Someone else also sees you in the box, very conspicuous, joining the Archduke of the High House is your father, the Archduke of the Ordo Principi, who wants to watch the next bout. And he casts a gaze at you over the podium, and with a knowing look that only Inquisitors can share back and, like, familially related Inquisitors can share back and forth, you two communicate a tremendous amount of information back and forth to each other. Go ahead and read someone's face.
All right. Just missed, and I rolled a 10, so that's a 12.
Wow. Okay. You may ask 2 questions about what's going on with the Archduke right now.
What depths do you conceal in terms of what game are you playing in this tournament?
He does not care who wins this bout. He is here on the pretense that he is interested in seeing a Lancer go up against a Brazen, on foot specifically, without the aid of a Drake. That is the pretense. That is not why he is here. He is here to meet with the Archduke of the High House.
Oh boy. What do you lack?
Currently, with you being in the box so close to him, and with your ears like 2 radar dishes and your network of informants swarming the Colosseum, he lacks the discretion to talk about what he actually wants to talk about with Rex. You
Excellent.
are fucking with his shit right now, and he is not happy. We have 2 unhappy Archdukes in the box next to the 2 player characters, which is very funny to me.
I feel like the only vibe he gets from Lorelei, she's just like, what? I'm just doing my job. How could you be upset? I'm fulfilling the role you told me to fulfill. It's not my fault you don't trust me.
He closes the intense eye contact with the "we'll talk about this later" look.
I see our two most noble sires have also decided to enjoy each other's company on this day.
Indeed, it seems that they do. I must profess, I am glad to be enjoying your company versus enjoying theirs.
Of course, Maximus Rex lacks a certain amount of charm for anybody that he refuses to spare it for, which means you must be at least several thousand years old in order to make even passing time with him. Must be something truly important they wish to discuss. I don't know that I've heard of your father coming by for games such as this terribly often.
Yeah, Renatia, this is actually interesting to you too.
Oh, yes.
What do you think of this conversation?
Well, so far, I have offered to pour a glass of wine from my own bottle for Lorelei for joining us. And so that I can maintain seating right where I can hear everything they're saying.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll say, like, you can tell from her posture, she's not trying to, like, shut you out of any of this. She's keeping the posture open. And is probably actually maybe sitting a little bit closer to you, to Bahamut, but she is being friendly to Bahamut. Yes, there's something of once individuals hit a certain age, they forget the importance of being able to change. They become stuck in what they think is the only way things work, and sometimes a little bit of shifting and bending and evolving is good for everyone.
Cheers to that.
Indeed. Oh, quite a fine vintage, thank you.
I met not long ago with the Sangark in Absentia, and he said something that I've been thinking about ever since. How we might take time to consider what it is that truly makes the Empire undying.
What an interesting thought.
Of course, I've had similar thoughts along yours as to what it means to be perpetual and to exist as yourself at such a great height for such a long time. Oh, speaking of, and on the subject of noble sires, Archduchess in waiting, Renatia.
Marquis Bahamut, Imperialis.
Do we expect your noble sire to be making an appearance anytime soon? We could complete the set. Kiranthal notwithstanding, with apologies to the good doctor.
No, I'm afraid my father still takes quite ill. It may be quite some time before he makes a public appearance again. Knowing full well that it is just well-known, almost confirmed rumor amongst everyone that, yeah, he's dead. He dead, he gone. We're just keeping up the ruse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's fun.
It's truly tragic to know that he has been so ill for so long, but we are blessed in that he had you to fill in his place. You have been doing magnificently, Archduchess.
Ah, flattery. Well, I didn't say stop.
Bahamut raises a glass and says, well then, we shall toast to good company and to the shared health of our fathers.
Indeed. Long live
The
the
Empire.
family line.
Indeed.
That's what I
Sweet
found out. Emily
toast.
does straight up just have a wine glass.
Oh, yeah.
In character.
Yeah. It's perfection, so I'll say, like, before Lorelei makes her exit, she drops at least one hint about perhaps it might be nice to converse further at another time, but I'm afraid I have other business to attend to. Thank you so much for allowing me to enjoy this moment with you both. With you all. She wouldn't have said both. She would have said all to acknowledge Gwaine, who's just doing his own little thing and is happy to have his thing to fidget with.
I mean, I'm gonna be so real. That's me in real life too. I'm learning from this game. Political intrigue shit is not my deal.
It can be exhausting.
Not that I don't like it. I just simply cannot keep up.
To be fair, in character, you're also really
Yeah.
focused on.
You
the
built a really
racing
great
right now.
character for it.
Yeah. That's why I'm
You
happy
did.
with Gwen. Yeah, I made a
Yeah.
great character to reflect how much I don't understand what's happening. I'm here to do science and kiss my wife.
I'm all out of science.
I'm all out of science.
Well, find some science. Your wife's out of town.
Oh, true.
I do enjoy that in this box sitting across from the others, we have like 3 people who have a very different, strongly different feelings towards their sires and towards their siblings.
On your way out, if it is okay with you, I have a move that is called Wrap Someone Around Your Finger. Spend an intimacy token, tell the history how you make them feel special, then name a request. And I can spend extra, but that's kind of neither here nor there. On a hit, and then I've got a list of things here. They choose freely whether to agree or refuse. If they agree, up to your own conscience how you do it.
So we're looking to cement an alliance effectively.
Yes. Because I think, would you want me to roll in order to understand that you do not have a great relationship with your father? I would know the history with Archduke Aspetus.
It is known that I was adopted. I don't know if it is public knowledge or publicly discussed. It could definitely be a rumor in the Bitter Litany.
It's in the litany, baby.
Oh, yeah, I know it's in the Litany, but most people don't know his biological daughter, Deidre's half-sister. It is known that he adopted me and I took the family name. It is known that I am not particularly favored by him at all, on a personal level at least, but I have made myself useful.
As you stand up to go, Bahamut says, "Oh, please, as a guest of House Imperialis, allow me to escort you out," and offers an arm so that we can walk and chat for a bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, she'll accept it. Just gives one last glance back to Renatia that says, "There'll be a message for you. You know where to find it."
Now, I cannot imagine that somebody of your certainty of knowledge would concern themselves too deeply with gossip and rumor mongering, but have you even a passing interest in what might be written in the volumes of the Bitter Litany?
I do find those volumes quite entertaining to read whenever I come across a copy. Series, and some of them might even be true. Depending on who you ask, of course.
Quite. I have found them to contain an element of truth, even if not necessarily the truth entire, or the truth as we would like it to be. The Litanist certainly seems to have certain opinions about your noble father.
There are many opinions that most would never be brave enough to voice concerning the Archduke, but my father was a man named Orsoba.
Is that so?
He is the man who raised me, who taught me how to be what I am. And then my mother passed, and he passed, and I was taken in by the Archduke and I have proven myself useful since then. Only in helping curb some of the eccentricities of their dearest daughter.
Truly it is sublime to dedicate your life to service of the house. Bahamut is being very subtly sarcastic here.
I live in service of the Empire, as should all within the Order Principium, and within all the great houses.
Of course.
You have been listening to Game Oven, a creative storytelling collective building a world one game at a time. This week we have been playing The Bitter Litany, a Powered by the Apocalypse game of tragic fantasy intrigue by Luke Jordan, which is still in development as we play it, but keep an eye out for it soon. This week, our players are the core cast of myself, Brianna Jean, TT Benjamin, Robbie Rowling, Zach Yolen Green, Emily Anderson, and Lex Olden. If you like what we're doing, feel free to leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app, and you can support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/GameWoven, as well as supporting the network we are a part of, which is the One Shot Podcast Network, where we have just some truly amazing shows that we get to be affiliated with. And if you're looking for something to listen to, go check them out.